Okay, now for part two. Now, I understand myself that in history, there's been countless numbers of so-called different civilizations or different peoples or tribes having interaction with so-called extraterrestrials, okay, or visitors or aliens, okay. Now, I feel that the people who hold this knowledge, who I guess your tribal leaders or people who are the scholars of these particular situations, either they don't know the full truth or they know and they're just not telling you, because these so-called aliens and extraterrestrials doesn't necessarily mean in the same sense of what society has taught you as a what's an alien or extraterrestrial, especially if you're looking at TV shows like Star Trek, Star Wars, anything dealing with space beings and stuff like that. And in a sense, that stuff is true. However, what I'm dealing with now is a little bit different. Okay? Now, in order to find out what these so-called true aliens, visitors, or whatever are, you have to go into mythology. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you an account of a basic Clip Notes version of a mythological story. Like if you go into the Greek mythology. And it's interesting because if you've seen the movie Clash of the Titans, it says the exact same thing. Before there were so-called gods and men, there were the Titans. The Titans ruled, or I guess you could say dominated the world first, or dominated the universe first. Okay? They had offspring, which are what you call the gods and men. And then at some point, the so-called gods in mythology, which are Zeus and all of those different Greek gods, decided to rebel against their masters or their creators, which were the Titans. So they employed man to help them. Okay? So that's just the Clip Notes version. So basically, in other stories, the Titans are referred to as extraterrestrials or aliens of some sort, in some sense. Now, mythology is basically the way of telling the truth or historical truth, but yet it's sort of the truth is sort of stretched out. Certain things are exaggerated. The things that are meant to be taken literal are not literal, and literal is meant to be taken metaphysical or mythologically. Okay, now when you research these titans were either black or blue black or violet colored beings, right? And these beings gave birth to these so-called Olympian gods and all of this stuff. Okay, and they said the Titans came from another far, far, far away place, and he brought forth gifts of knowledge and weapons and fighting and agriculture and all of this stuff, right? Now, the Titans, like I said, blue skin, black skin, violent skin, or deep hued individuals. Okay, now you have individuals like Hare Krishna, the original Buddha, and other gods or deities that were used in those old Vedic scriptures, referring to them as black, blue skin. Okay, that is a symbol for a certain type of people. Now, if this is the time where any of you gonna get freaking sensitive, you might want to go ahead and stop this video right now, because I'm dealing with facts. I'm dealing with truth. I'm not trying to pacify or rub anybody's back. I'm dealing with the truth. Now, these so-called black, blue-skinned beings refer to so-called melanated peoples. And for any of you that don't know what a melanated person is, a melanated individual is a person who has a deep level or concentration of melanin throughout their body. Melanin, melange, or occultum. Okay, this is what gives an individual their pigmentation. All right. Now, a long time ago, in the, I guess you could say, the beginning of the birth of the earth, some of the first beings, our first ancestors, were so-called black skin. You can still see that now in certain parts of the world. In China, Africa, India, they are black. A lot of us around here calling ourselves black, we're not black. We're rusty brown or deep brown. They are black, and they are the remnants of that original seed that was brought forth by man. I'll get to that in a second, because when I refer to man, I'm not referring to a so-called physical flesh being. I'm referring to mind. I'm referring to spirit. So when you read the book Celestial Ship of the North by Miss E. Stratton, this was a so-called European woman that admitted in this book that the prototype of any life form being, especially man or mankind on any planet, is black. Not a nigger, not a Negro. It's black. Black is the same substance, or in its, I guess you could say, its higher vibratory form is ether, or the akasha. And that's the same stuff. When we look out in the sky at nighttime or shadow hours, that blackness, that's that. And we know that that blackness is potential matter, potential energy that can be used to bring forth creations. So why is it hard to believe that anything is black? All of your so-called, or comes from the black, all of your so-called evolutionists said that the primordial ooze was black. And in some historical references, it's referred to as sheet, berushit, or soot. Soot also is one of the original gods of the Great Mother, the first created being, I guess you could say the first created being or manifestation of the Great Mother, Soot Tafan. Soot, the reason why its name is Soot is because we're dealing with something that comes from the original essence, something that's meant to bring forth creation. Soot's Typhon or Sep Chronos was the deity that dealt with time and order. Mother was in the essence of chaos, meaning that all the things are culminating ideas into one. And Soot, being the masculine aspect, is going to direct and deal with the details of that creation. But I'll get into that more later, probably in another video. So what I'm saying to you is that these so-called titans in Greek mythology were so-called melanated black people, Moors, whatever you want to call them. And in one mythological story, it was saying, I think Paracelsus, whoever, one of those Greek guys, stole the torch of knowledge from the Titans and brought it back to their people. So symbolically, it's telling you that, hey, they stole the knowledge from these people and used it for themselves. Now remember, at one point, especially in Greek mythology, they refer to these Titans or the original ones as aliens or extraterrestrials. Okay? You don't have to believe me. You can do your research, because I know some of you are listening to this right now may get a little bit sensitive. Okay? But this is not about your personal feelings. This is about truth and fact. And in order for us to go further on in the future and to evolve, we need to know where we came from. Where the hell we came from. Hell meaning light or fire in the sky, which is the stars. Another thing that they've taught you incorrectly on purpose. So I'll continue this further in the next video. Hotep.